Basketball Champions League, and it's the game between SIG Strasbourg and Filou Oostende. Well, no telling what you're going to see when you come to a basketball game in this wonderful arena. Fans certainly like to wear the team colors, and they get into the atmosphere on game day 7 in Group D. Midi Bayreuth taking on Neptunus Klaipėda right now. We've got Strasbourg and Oostende coming up as well. And tomorrow, Besiktas, you can see, will be in action, as well as Segafredo Virtus Bologna, Prometheus Patras, and Petro Olympia. So here are the Group D standings. Virtus, one of the only unbeaten teams still in the competition. Prometheus, though, playing excellent basketball at 5-1. Of course, they lost to SIG Strasbourg. Neptunus Klaipėda at 3-3. They are in 4th place, and Oostende, as you could see, have had their struggles. They are down at the bottom at 1-5. So when it comes to desperate times, these are certainly desperate times for Dario Georgia's Oostende team. They need to get a win. TJ Williams, Tim Lambrecht, Elias Lassisi, Loic Schwartz, Nedim Bouza, Jean-Marc Nguema, Yannick Desiron, Dusan Djordjevic, Vincent Castellout, all the way down that roster. They need to be ready to play tonight from the off, and they've got to put in a good 40 minutes. Mladen Matić, of course, in that Oostende team that plays a lot of important minutes. Chase Feeler as well, and Nemanja Jurisic. And for SIG Strasbourg, Marty Collins, Ludovic Bayhurst, Quentin Sauron, Gerald Eddy, Jeremy Inzuli, Mike Green, Florent Pietrus, Nicholas Long, Quentin Gulmi, Youssafa Fall, Jacques Alange, and Ali Traore suiting up for Vincent Collet's team. Well, as you look at TJ Williams coming out here to be introduced, as well as the rest of his Oostende teammates, this is a team that had some good moments last week against Besiktas, and probably felt like they had a decent shot to win that one late, but they ended up losing it 73-67. The loss that really sticks in their craw more than anything, the home defeat on October 30th to Petro Olympia when they slipped to a 79-73 defeat. That was coming off a 91-89 win over Neptunus Klaipėda. So clearly things not going well for Oostende in the Basketball Champions League. But there's still time to rescue it. That man there, Jurisic, has just been terrific. Jean-Marc Nguema, I thought, really came out with a lot of credit as well last week. Mladen Matić has a lot of ability to go out and carry the team for long stretches. So we're about to see Coach Collet's SIG Strasbourg team come out to be introduced here before the crowd. And Collet, of course, the national team coach of France as well. Georgia, in fact, is the coach of Belgium's national team, having replaced or succeeded the longtime national team coach Eddie Casteels only recently. So Marty Collins comes out. Ludovic Bayhurst. Contenceron going up as well against his some of his compatriots tonight. Contenceron comes from Belgium and plays for Georgia in that Belgium national team. Gerald Eddy. How good is this SIG Strasbourg team? As we look at them coming out and you look back at their results, they've had some interesting ones that suggest that they could be in the running for a Final Four spot. As expected, they won their first game, albeit by 10 points at Petro Olympia, so that's quite convincing. 67-63 winners then on game day 2 against Midi Bayreuth. Then they hit the road and won at Besiktas 78-71. Their first slip came at Neptūnas Klaipėda in Lithuania on game day 4, 92-83. And then SIG Strasbourg rebounded with an 83-78 win over Prometheus Patras on November 7th. Of course, last week they gave Segafredo Virtus Bologna a good run for their money, but in the end it was Kevin Punter who came up with some big plays. And Virtus remained unbeaten. And Ali Traore is now coming out as the last player to be introduced here tonight. Last, but certainly not least, France International played actually in last year's final of the Basketball Champions League as a member of the Monaco basket team. Well, you would think certainly from a size standpoint, SIG Strasbourg has an advantage. Here are the referees: Jonas Yilmaz, Radomir Vojinovic, and Zdenko Tomashovic. So we're going to look at the starting fives as well for these teams as we continue through the pregame warm-ups. And remembering now, Oostende, they're going to start with Djordjevic, the veteran, at point guard, Lassisi, small forward, Chase Feeler, Castellout, and Maric. There's Georgia, man that calls all the shots, or most of the shots at Oostende as the coach, and also in terms of bringing in players. So they definitely need a win tonight. And for Strasbourg, if they want to challenge really for leadership in this group by the end of the regular season, they need to win this game. So they're going to start with Mike Green, who won the title last year with Ike, Contenceron, Marty Collins, Pietrus, and Youssoufa Fall, excuse me. And there's the veteran play caller, Collet. So here in Strasbourg at the Arena Sport, the crowd, as usual, providing a good atmosphere. And You can see the assistants, Coach Dolt, Bogovac, and Tuovi. Lassi Tuovi is actually an assistant coach with the Finland national team. He was actually with Henrik Detman, the head coach of Finland, when he was in charge of Strasbourg at the beginning of, I think it was last season, and ended up staying on board after the club parted ways with him. Well, good evening, folks. We are in Strasbourg, France. This is the Basketball Champions League. And it's the clash between Oostende in the yellow and in the dark uniforms, SIG Strasbourg. So Oostende attacking the basket to the left on your screen. And Quentin Serron gets that long rebound. And now the quick pass into Yusuf Afal, and he was fouled by Djordjevic. So Yusuf Afal makes the first. Drills both of them, in fact, came in shooting 62.5% at the free throw line. They did 10 of 16 before that. And now a foul has been called. In case you're wondering, with Yusuf Afal, he picks up his first, and that's been an issue with him, foul trouble. In case you're wondering, he measures 2.21 meters. That's 7 feet 3 inches in height. That is a very, very big man. So another jump shot and another miss for Oostende. Fall going to work on Maric. And good job, Collins, or Pietrus scrapping for the rebound. Got it to Collins. Now Serron. And Collins almost loses it again. Inside this time, the foul's on Mladen Maric. Hard to see, really, that he did too much wrong there, to be honest. That'll be a tough call on him. Mike Green, entry pass. And then the quick pass back, and it goes out of bounds. Oostende still looking for their first points of the game. And the pass, and Fall says, don't forget, I'm 7 feet 3 inches in height. And then Pietrus says, I may not be that tall, but I can reject as well. Now Marty Collins takes it, and Djordjevic hustles down, and the game gets kind of crazy. Mladen Maric, perhaps an advertisement of why you give the ball up to the guard on the break. And then Quentin Serron goes down and scores with a left hand. Feeler goes baseline. Oh, and he dunks it. Chase Feeler, the reverse jam. And Saron for his second basket. Now a three-point attempt is good from Lasisi. And just like that, it's back to a one-point game. Saron, Feeler battling, and Castelloot with the rebound. Now Djordjevic gets it to Feeler. He's got a good feel for the game right now. Banks in and puts Oostende in front. He's a good basketball player, no doubt about it. And good effort from behind by Castelloot, but foul has been called. Oh, in fact, so the ball turns over to Oostende. Just trying to get clarification on that. The turnover. So it wasn't a foul on the previous play, but anyway. And that's Pietrus called for the reach. Played a long time for France's national team. Called it quits after Rio, along with Jalabal and Tony Parker. Oh, Yusuf Fall dribbling the ball a little bit there in the open floor. Now Saron bounce pass to Fall. And Pietrus in there for the rebound. And that was the foul on Yusuf Fall. His second. Moving screen. Inzali getting ready to check into the game, as well as Ali Traore. See, he's got a little bit of a left shoulder issue. Traore has some wrapping on there. Now Djordjevic pulls up for three. Good. 10-6, Oostende on top, halfway through the first quarter. Now pulling up, three-pointer. Off target by Green. Djordjevic over to Castelloot, who goes in and lays it up and in. Now the lead is 12-6. That was an impressive move by him. I thought he was thinking possibly about dunking, and then realized he probably was better off doing what he did. Traore. And jump shot is good from Traore. I think that was a jump hook. Now Feeler. And Castelloot misses everything. Oh, Castelloot saw him miss that. Coming into this one, he was shooting 42.9% from three-point range. He hit 6 of 14, so he's a a competent shooter from long range. Lambrecht has checked into the game. Also coming in is for Djordjevic, Williams. Nzuli misses down low. Let's see. Oh, quick pass down low. Good play by Mladen Maric, but then he didn't finish. Now Lang and Bayhurst getting into the game early as well for SIG Strasbourg, but then Lang stepped out of bounds. Eddie comes into the game, immediately recognizable by that interesting headband that he wears. Fieler hands it off, but Castelloot doesn't catch it. And Fieler almost came up with a steal. And then a little bit out of control there. Nzuli goes into no man's land and the ball goes out of bounds. Again, Fieler doing what he needs to do. He's a very intelligent player on both ends of the floor. Here he is. He's got the ball. He's going to go Eddie. Yes, he is. Little jump hook. Don't look now, but Chase Fieler taking over for Oostende. So 4 of 8 inside the arc, and 2 of 5 for Oostende from deep. And Fieler has been the man. He's got 6 points.
Sérieux, c'est une bonne équipe, on vous l'a dit. Sérieux, donc on va sur pouce. Somme, bougez, allez, let's go, allez. Army.
7 rebounds for Strasbourg, 4 for Oostende. Another Belgian team in action tonight. Antwerp telling that Giants at home up on Ike 38-28 at halftime. The defending champions, a little bit of trouble. So Fribourg up on Omanurai Venezia in Italy late in the first half. So that's a potential upset in the making. Right here, 8 minutes into the game, and it's Oostende up 14-8. Traore and Lambrecht with the rebound. Mark and Wayma. CC over to Fieler, and boy, is he drilling it. What a start to the game for Chase Fieler. And long shot, rebound, Lambrecht over to Fieler. Lambrecht. And Traore misses. Williams. Let's see, three-pointer! And the lead now in double digits for Oostende. And you start to wonder maybe SIG haven't got the right intensity for this game. They're trailing by 12 points. Lambrecht not able to rebound, or Desiron, excuse me, not able to rebound it. I think I misidentified him earlier. Sorry about that, as Lambrecht. So Desiron with 0.3 seconds remaining. Strasbourg will try to get something at the rim, perhaps. Did not get that off in time. Doesn't matter. He missed it anyway. So, encouraging start here for the visitors. Wins have been in short supply in the Basketball Champions League, but they are up 20-8 on SIG Strasbourg. Shooting numbers much better for Oostende.
Et après, ici on n'a pas de mouvement. C'est close everything. So if you want to play on the first pass, it will never be a layup. Le pick and roll, il faut l'utiliser.
Mesdames, Messieurs, applaudissements danseuses de la SIG Strasbourg.
Let's look at the highlights. I remember talking to former Oostende player Pierre-Antoine Gillet, who is now at Iberostar Tenerife, and he was telling me that when he played for Georgia, Georgia invited him to Croatia one summer and said, listen, if you come in and put in a good, hard several weeks of training with me, you'll be a better player. And Pierre-Antoine Gillet said that was really kind of a turning point for him in his career. And of course, he went on to become like the MVP in the Belgium League. He played in France last season. Now he's in Spain playing with Tenerife, one of the many successful Belgian basketball stories in recent times. So Georgia has done his bit for Belgian basketball. Bayhurst whips it over to Eddie. Williams hands it back off. Checking it, having checked in the game is Schwartz, number 7. And Williams just falls out of bounds. Was actually on the call for Oostende's loss last week to Besiktas, and Schwartz didn't even get into the game. Inslee looking to get on the act. Long for 3. So the first points of the second quarter belong to SIG. Offensive foul. So Nwema picks that one up, and you know, if you're Oostende, you give yourself the dream start. You're up 12. Jurisic, meanwhile, is checked into game number 42. Watch him. He's outstanding. He's guarding Eddie. Eddie with the turnaround, misses everything, and then Nwema with the rebound. Now Jurisic, he is a tough player. Ball over to Williams. Entry pass to Jurisic, goes up with the left hand, misses. And Alenge was out of bounds. So that'll be Oostende ball. Gerald Eddy's made his debut last week, having just joined SIG Strasbourg and played against Virtus, had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 27 years of age. And he's guarding Jurisic, who I think is their best player. So he's got a tough defensive assignment. Jurisic, interesting that arguably their best player, and he comes off the bench. And comes off the bench on the second quarter. But then again, they were playing so well in the first. Montenegro International wasn't needed until now. Here's Williams. And again, Desiron called for the offensive foul. Just a little too hard on Mike Green. So he will return to the bench. And Chase Feeler, who had the hot hand, is back out there. Here's Gerald Eddy. Pulls up. And then Nwema jumped too soon. But Oostende come down with the ball. Very poor start for Strasbourg here in the first half. Feeler. Schwartz. Now Feeler again. He's got to put it up. Goes off 1 foot, misses. And that time Alenge stepped out of bounds. Good defense by Loic Schwartz. Feeler open for 3. Oh, well short that time. And another foul's been called. And oh, the alley-oop and the jam from Alenge. Georgia has seen enough. We saw them go ice cold in the third quarter last week against Besiktas in Belgium, and now they've started the second quarter cold after coming into it up 12. Look at that. They've been shut out so far in the second quarter. So a highlight reel play by Linge. Look at this again. Good play. Good play by Collins to see Linge there. All they had to do was throw it near the rim, and it was going down big time. So coming out of the timeout, Oostende's lead has been trimmed to 7. It was 12. Oh, beautiful pass. Oh, again. And then good read by Linge to knock it away, but Jurisic gets it back. Schwartz puts up a 3. Well, Georgia wasn't happy with the execution in the end. Collins goes right around Schwartz and lays it up and in. 7-0 run for Strasbourg here at the start of the second quarter. Williams, beautiful bounce pass. And Feeler, excellent job feeling the defense. And that was Traore who stepped in. So Chase Feeler has been terrific tonight. That's the only way to describe it. And what's interesting to me about Chase Feeler, it seems like wherever he goes, his teams win. He was a Belgian Cup champion earlier this year, 2-time Dutch League champion. He was the Dutch Basketball League Playoffs MVP in 2017, Dutch Cup champion 2017. Nice play down low by Collins. Also, he had that incredible run with Florida Gulf Coast University. Minnows really made it to the NCAA tournament. And a good play by Castelloot, throwing it off of his Belgium national team teammate, Quentin Serron. Also, Booz has checked into the game. Number 8. Here's Feeler again. Gets in the lane. Oh, goodness me! That could be the play of the game. Wow. Goodness me, we have been talking about Chase Feeler. You see Castelloot playing defense, but I'll tell you, I can't get that play out of my mind. He just went right into the lane and threw it down with some anger. Chase Feeler is off to a flyer tonight. Marty Collins. And now an offensive foul called on Traore, down low. got a pretty good suspicion that Chase Feeler dunk is going to be the top 5 plays of the week, maybe the play of the week. And now, that was the pass. Goes off of Collins' hands. Oh, and it looked like it also touched Castelloot, but referee did not see it that way. Jurisic takes the long inbounds pass. Now Williams, Oostende up 7. Feeler again, feeling it. And foul called on Jurisic, boxing out Alenge. Wow, so that has been called. Yeah, so that was the foul. They're at the line, over the limit. And Alenge, who had his own little nice jam a couple minutes ago, misses his first free throw. So Alenge makes the second. Djordjevic back in the game. And Djordjevic has got to do a better job as the point guard, bring the ball up the floor. Turns it over. So Alenge goes out. There's a little Charles Oakley in him, doesn't he? There's a good spin move, Marty Collins, and SIG just continue to shave away at that deficit. Buza. Jurisic, quick pass, knocked away by Green. Now Nzuli back to Green. Nzuli, the Cameroon international. That was an air ball, snared out of the air by Collins. Now Collins has it. He's going to go to work on Djordjevic. And good defense by Castelloot. But good hustle. Now Djordjevic has it. Buza, 3-on-3. What will he do? He's going to pull it back. Open, Djordjevic, 3 is good. Well, that makes up for his turnover. He's hit a couple of threes tonight, Djordjevic. And you get the feeling how this Basketball Champions League, folks, is not easy to win, even against the 1-5 teams. Three-pointers, 5 of 10 from 3 from Oostende. Just 1 of 5 for SIG. Really, Oostende, you should think, should be up even more by the way they've played tonight. You can't see SIG struggling like this all night long. Look at this again. That's the play of the game right there. I mean, you know, it's one thing to dunk it. It's another thing to dunk it in traffic. It's another thing to dunk it against 2 big guys on the other team. He went right at him. Marty Collins coming out of the timeout and missed from close range. And Jurisic had good position there. And Pietrus does what he does best and that has crashed the offensive boards. I got to say, Filou Oostende, one of my favorite players. He's still getting after it. He spent a lot of his career in Spain. Played with Valencia Basket, had a run with Baskonia, had a spell with Malaga, Estudiantes. Now back in France. Jurisic. And Jurisic goes hard to the basket and scores as well. Boy, Jurisic as well as Filou are just making good, strong moves to the hoop. And there for the follow was Kestelou, but he was coming over the back. Jurisic misses, and Kestelou. So that means free throws coming for Marty Collins right at the other end. And I'm guessing George is not happy with the foul that has been called more than the fact that Kestelou came over the back. But you can almost argue that's an easy one for the refs, because Collins did have position. And there was some contact. But he only makes one of two. But on the other hand, you could argue that perhaps he didn't really box him out. And George is thinking you got to reward the good attacking, aggressive play of Kestelou. Here's Bouza into the corner. Kestelou can't get it to fall yet from deep. Now Green. Played so well for Pinar Karsiaka. Then he played great for Ike. Now he's doing it for SIG Strasbourg. And the ball goes out of bounds. Lost by Marty Collins. He was trying to put Mwema in a spin cycle, but then put himself in a spin cycle. Jurisic sets the pick. Great defense by Eddie. He got his hands up. He knew what was coming. Serron. Now, Inzuli lays it up, the trailer. And Georgia calls timeout. If Inzuli starts putting his head down and going to the basket, then that's going to be trouble for Oostende. Shooting numbers.
Elias, come off. Nemanja, set the screen. You screen. Pass go in. You cut it. You shot. This is gonna be Jean-Marc. This is Ned.
See the rebounding numbers. Strasbourg with those 4 offensive rebounds, but Oostende out rebounding them 11-10 on the defensive glass. And I'll tell you, you got some eye-opening games tonight. Midi Bayreuth up 22 points at home on Neptunus Klaipėda. Dijon hanging tough at Hapoel Jerusalem, only down 55-47. And Antwerp still up on Ike, 48-38 late in the third. Also Bonn winning big on Opava by 37. Fribourg now trailing by 2 against Umana Venezia. That game in Switzerland. Bouza. Oh, bounce pass to Jurisic. Goes up with the left hand. Great finish. Green makes a difficult pass into the corner. Green's got to launch it. Not a good play, and I think Giroletti's going to be frustrated there because it looked like he was open a couple of times. Three-point attempt for Mwema. Oh, missed everything. Oh, great defense from Booza. Ball ends up with Inslee, who hits the three-pointer right at the end of the first half. How big will that shot be? And you can see Collet's got a lot to talk about at halftime, but at least Strasbourg have cut into that deficit. They go to the locker room down 31-26. So Oostende with those 5 threes. The difference really in the game is that they've been able to hit that three. Strasbourg out rebounding them 16-12. And 10 turnovers on Strasbourg. And you have to wonder as well, as we look at the game leaders, Filou outstanding first half, 13 points. You just have to wonder if Oostende have kind of let an opportunity slip here. You know, they should. You take away that three, and they're up by 8 points at halftime. But they could have even been up by more, double digits. But a 5-point lead is better than trailing by 5 points. That's probably what they'll be thinking right now as we look back at some of these highlights. And boy, have there been some highlights in this game.
Pour la soirée de lancement du livre des 90 ans de la SIG Strasbourg, plus près des étoiles, lundi prochain, 26 novembre, 19h30.
This was Lassisi, but I'm waiting to see the first contributions from Feeler, who, once he got it going, Kestelud had that strong move, scoring over Traoré. Here's Feeler. Watch this. That was a little jump hook going up against Giroletti. Here's Feeler from the right. One of his three-pointers. And Lassisi with the shot clock winding down. Long came out and hit a three. That was Collins to Alinge with the alley-oop pass and jam. And then Feeler says, "You want some of that? I'll give you some of that." Here it is again. And again, we've seen it 5 times now. Oh my goodness, 6 times. Kestelud saved it in bounds. I can't wait. I'm waiting for the Feeler dunk. Here it is. Watch this. Goodness gracious me. Are you kidding me? Every time you see it, just get out of the way next time, boys. So that should have gotten the Oostende fans happy back in Belgium. Here it is again. And there was also a strong move from Jurisic. I thought that was worthy of being on the highlight reel for Coach Georgia. So anyway, we are at halftime, and it's Oostende on top, 31-26, desperate for a win. Remember, they came into this 1-5, and SIG Strasbourg, meanwhile, looking to keep the pressure on up at the top of the standings. So second half action will be coming your way shortly. We'll be right back.
Et n'oubliez pas d'aller découvrir la boutique officielle de la SIG Strasbourg avant les fêtes de fin d'année. Des idées à puiser depuis la boutique officielle de la SIG Strasbourg. N'oubliez pas de télécharger la nouvelle application, l'application officielle de la SIG Strasbourg pour vos tablettes et smartphones. Donc n'hésitez pas, l'application est gratuite. Elle vous permet d'accéder à de nouveaux services, à pouvoir commander vos repas directement depuis votre siège et être servi à votre siège. Il y a la possibilité de commander et de télécharger vous-même directement vos billets sur l'application et d'autres avantages, des jeux, la possibilité de gagner une montre Pierre Lanier. L'application SIG Strasbourg est à votre disposition. Elle est gratuite, donc téléchargez pour votre tablette et votre smartphone l'application gratuite SIG Strasbourg. Et les buvettes vous attendent avec la nouvelle carte, les nouveaux produits Bagelstein et Kier. Et on va saluer également le groupe Vinci, des copains Adidas, promoteurs d'aujourd'hui, la ville de Strasbourg et l'Eurométropole, la région Grand Est, le conseil départemental du Bas-Rhin. Et on salue une nouvelle fois tous les invités de la société Big Bat, ainsi que le club basket de Vandenay. vous le rappelle, à noter, prochain rendez-vous à domicile, ce sera ce vendredi 20 novembre à 20h. SIG Strasbourg face à Nanterre 92. Donc ne manquez pas ce prochain rendez-vous à domicile dans le cadre de la Chip Elite SIG Strasbourg Nanterre. Réservez vos places sur notre site sigstrasbourg.fr, rubrique billetterie en ligne ou directement à la boutique de la SIG ici au Rhenus du lundi au vendredi de 9h à 12h et de 14h à 18h.
SIG Strasbourg with some work to do. They trail 31-26 at halftime here at home against Filou Oostende. This Oostende team coming out and sort of hitting them in the mouth. And it's time for SIG to answer, and I fully expect them to. They have not played at their best, and they've got a lot of time to rectify things, but this Oostende team, at moments they just play such wonderful basketball, but they've got to be able to string it together for 40 minutes. And the big question I have is, are we going to have a repeat of what happened last week when they had a lead over Besiktas at halftime and then ended up falling, not able to protect it. They just collapsed sort of in that third quarter. They ended up losing that game last week. They were at home 73-66, but in that third quarter, they were outscored 24-9, and really they just kind of made a rod for their own backs, and they just weren't able to come back from that. Mini Bayreuth putting together a very impressive performance tonight against Neptunus Klaipėda, winning 87-69 midway through the fourth quarter. And Hapoel Jerusalem battling away at home over Dijon 69-60. Antwerp now trailing at home against Ike 57-53, and Bonn getting a big win over Opava. And so Fribourg and Umanaraya in a tight one in Switzerland. Nymburk lost tonight at home to Borussia Baskets Bamberg 84-78, and earlier tonight Ukam Murthia won a thriller at Banvit. Banvit had a chance to win that game, but Mackenzie Moore drove in the final seconds, and instead of attacking the rim, passed it to a wide open Alex Perez in the left corner. Perez, great player, just missed the shot, and it was disappointment for the fans of Banvit. So last year's title winner with Ike, Mike Green, and his Strasbourg team ready to get the second half underway.
Applaudissements du public pour les deux équipes, applaudissements sportifs pour Filou Oostende, applaudissements de soutien d'approuvement pour la SIG Strasbourg.
Welcome back, folks. If you've taken a break, we are now at the start of the second half. Strasbourg trailing by 5 points against upset-minded Filou Oostende. And an entry pass, and Yusuf Fall back in the game was fouled down low by Maric. So Maric got into foul trouble guarding Fall, and then Fall got in, picked up some fouls as well. So now actually Maric has 2 fouls. He was just pulled for ineffectiveness, the Croatian. But now the pass by Green eludes his teammates. And now scrapped down low, and Yusuf Fall picks up the foul. So more foul trouble for Fall. Yeah, I mean, that is just unnecessary. Yusuf Fall simply cannot, if he wants to play basketball, can't make fouls like that. It's just unnecessary. Chase Feeler, probably the player of the game. Gets in the lane, takes the contact, but they're not going to count it. So the foul was before he made his move. Look at this. Some people would give that. Djordjevic puts it up from deep and misses. Nzuli with the rebound. I don't understand that play from Djordjevic. It wasn't necessarily a play, it was just give it to Feeler, let him create. He's feeling it right now. Collins turns, puts it up, short, and then failure to rebound does not come back to haunt them as Traore misses with the putback attempt. Maric turns, and again, that will not make Georgia happy. Look at him. They have to be able to get a better shot when they run plays. When they run plays, they get some good stuff, Oostende. But Collins now with the chance to cut the deficit back to 3. And that's not going to happen. And just it's one of those games right now for SIG. 1 of 2, so they get it back to 4. Now Mike Green called for a foul, his first. Here he is again, look out. This time they meet him, but Feeler stays after it and earns a trip to the line. No, that was Maric, excuse me. Maric keen to make an impact on this game. He's not been at the races so far. Maybe the second half will be a little bit different. And he rattles in the first one. Misses the second, however. Good defense. I think it was it Maric or Kesselud that batted the pass. Lasisi hands it off to Djordjevic. Now Feeler. To an open Lasisi. Good. And that's impressive. Patient. Passing out to the wing and the three-pointer. And the drive and the foul. Maric thought he had it clean. Malingue misses He's not been perfect to the line by any stretch tonight, just 1 of 3. And the drive, and Castelloot flushes it. Great play once again by Fielder. And the lead goes back to 9. And that was great defense by Castelloot. Jurisic passes it, and now they pass it back out. Much better of a job by Oostende offensively. Fielder with shot clock winding down. Now Djordjevic, bounce pass, beautiful play! And another dunk by Castelloot. And SIG Strasbourg's fans must be wondering what's going on. But I've got a pretty good feeling that Vincent Collet is not going to be a happy camper on that Strasbourg sidelines.
We have no chance. We just walk, and they walk with us. We talk about intensity. They have. Us, we walk. Can we go a little bit faster? Faster!
Points by quarter.
Faut aller plus vite. Simple, ok? Simple. Pas besoin de faire des trucs compliqués. We go again.
So for Collet, it's a matter of intensity. His team doesn't have it.
Merci à SIG, merci aux lanceurs de la SIG. Vous êtes 5210 spectateurs. 5210 spectateurs pour assister à cette rencontre et soutenir la SIG Strasbourg. Applaudissements du public pour la SIG.
So let's see if the intensity goes up for SIG Strasbourg. 4 minutes into the second half. They're down by 11. Collins, difficult shot, misses. And Alinge almost stealing it from an unsuspecting Lassisi. Jurisic now backing up Inzuli. Back out to Djordjevic, and Fielder has, wow, they have blown the whistle while he was attempting a three-pointer right before the end of the shot clock. I'd like to see that again. Collet doesn't agree with it. Watch this. Boy, that is a very tough call against Strasbourg. That's all I can say. So there's a question of the foul. There's also a question of, was he in the shooting motion? And was the foul committed before the end of the shot clock? So they're saying it took place after the shot clock. So I think that's the right call. I mean, bottom line is Strasbourg should not be penalized with a foul in that situation. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for Georgia and Oostende because they had like a really almost an exceptional gift, and then to have it taken away. And now foul called as Strasbourg drive into the lane.
Faute de Djordjevic.
And that foul should be on Djordjevic. Yes, it was. There's Alinge, makes the first. To a 9-point lead. Here's Filou. Baseline. Puts it up. Good defense from Alinge that time. And probably Filou, I think for the first time, guilty of forcing one up. Brown gets blocked from behind. Green, rather, not Brown. What am I talking about? Jurisic. Oh, tough move into the lane. Back to an 11-point lead after the basket from the Montenegro international. Seems like Strasbourg should get either Inzoli into the action more or Eddie. And I like Inzoli driving to the basket when you're struggling. Entry pass. Oh, boy, that was textbook right there. That was, let's go to school, boys. Let's take him to school with us. Biggest lead of the game now, 13 points for Oostende. And Alinge called for the foul. Kind of leaning in and shoving Jurisic with his right forearm. Watch this. And he didn't just do it once, he did it twice. And Wayman now comes into the game. And Yusuf Afal comes in. This is a part of the game now where Oostende simply have to step on the accelerator. I mean, they can't be comfortable. They can't allow mistakes to start creeping into the game. They've got an opportunity. Here's Jurisic. And the reach and the foul called on Inzoli. Well, they may have called it on foul. Yusuf a foul. Whoa. Yeah, they did call it on Inzoli. Looked like it was just a reach. You know, a lot of times a referee, when he sees that reach, you know, you're kind of putting yourself in danger of having that foul called. But missed free throws will kill you. And Oostende not taking advantage of their opportunities tonight. They're 3 of 6. And Jurisic misses 2 more. He's had a nightmare at the line. He's had 4 free throws. He's had 4 free throws, 0 of 4. Now three-pointer, no good. Here's Jurisic again, drives in. Oh, blocked by Fall. Now quickly to Inzoli. Oh, he got blocked by the rim. It was almost as if he got turned around, didn't know where he was. And Jurisic, in fact, is 0 of 3 from the line, not 0 of 4. That's right, because he got fouled on a potential three-point play. Williams rattles it in. 15 points now, the biggest lead of the game, and Collet again has to call timeout. So the game leaders, Collins with 8 points, but 4 rebounds as well. 3 assists for Green, but it's not working for SIG. And it's the Oostende fans that are happy. And right behind their bench. coming right out of the timeout. Fall gets an easy look down low. Jurisic drives and loses it out of bounds. Right idea. Just did not execute it. "13 points to deficit." Strasbourg, you can hear coach saying there's 13 minutes still. Oh, blocked. Great play by Jurisic blocking Saron. Williams shakes and bakes, drives down the lane, and not there, and the follow from Maric, no good. So missed opportunity. I thought Williams had it. Eddie passes back out to Bayhurst. Ludovic Bayhurst out there for his energy, really defensively. Eddie misses, and then Mweema doesn't rebound it. He does rebound it, but then he loses it out of bounds. Fall again. Offensive foul as Maric takes a shot to the face. Yusuf a fall. Watch this. Oh, he caught him with the right elbow. Big time. And the referee spotted it. Bam. I mean, he's a very big man, and he's trying to get into position to score, but that is a nasty, and they're going to look and see if that was of the unsportsmanlike variety. At Banvit earlier tonight, there was a player thrown out of the game. In fact, it was Belgium international Kevin Toumba for a dangerous play. They threw him out of the game. It was his first unsportsmanlike. So now an unsportsmanlike has been called on Fall. He's had a difficult time in the foul department tonight. Maric makes the first. It's a big opportunity here for Oostende, who are up 14 points. And you're talking about a Strasbourg team that, quite frankly, has played very well in recent times. But tonight, Oostende seemed to be controlling things, to everybody's surprise. He only makes one of two. And on that whole trip down the floor, they get 1 point. And a turnover called on Williams. Or Williams guilty of the turnover. Spin move, drive. Pietrus trying to follow it up. 14-point deficit for SIG. Jurisic going at Eddie, gets up, gets blocked. the former Hokie. And the ball goes, and Weymouth stepped out of bounds. Well, they haven't been able to pull away, but they've got a double-digit lead, and Georgia knows very well SIG could come back. Long, Pietrus. This is where they've got to be good. They've got to keep putting the pressure on SIG. Eddie. And Pietrus doing a great job battling, but not able to corral it. Lassisi up high. Final 24 seconds of the third quarter. Lassisi for three. Now Strasbourg will hold it for one. Collins. Oh, nice change of direction and scores with a little runner. Well, SIG taking a little bit of momentum over to the bench, and Oostende lead it. Nevertheless, 46-34.
We need rhythm, good defense, and play unselfish. Every time we try first and after we pass the ball. Si tu peux pas tirer, Nico, va même pas dribbler, basta.
Those are the numbers. Not particularly good shooting for either team.
Si on passe la balle, c'est des bonnes actions. We need aggressivity, but for others, they always come to block and close. They protect the basket. We need to be aggressive, but for others, with confidence. You agree 5, we don't care. We will make the next one, okay? And we are going to do something for you. Foresight, okay? Très vite. Nico. Écran pour Flo. Mardi.
Well, can Oostende hold on and get a big road win tonight? That's the big question. I would have thought SIG would have already made their move and really been on top by now. If not on top, at least right there with them. And you just wonder maybe if this is Oostende's night. But they've got to play 40 minutes. Interesting, Jurisic, Matic, and Weymouth, Djordjevic, and Williams out on the court. 12-point lead for Oostende. They've been up by as many as 15. Williams gets inside, lays it up, great play. Exposing the size difference with Bayhurst. Eddie cuts inside, immediate response. Jurisic. Back out to Djordjevic and Weymouth. God, missed everything except the backboard. Long for three. One player you can't leave open. It's going to be long. He's a good shooter. Georgia calls timeout. Nine assists for each team tonight. And the drive and the foul called. Eddie's saying he got all ball in this.
Filou Oostende, sortie du numéro 9. Et retour en jeu du numéro 22, Geo-Blocks. Au lancer, Geo-Blocks.
Boy, the free throw issues tonight. And they want to clarify something here. They're going to give another chance. No, they're not. So Jurisic made the first. Missed the second, and at the line tonight, he is 1 of 5. Eddie for 3. Well, that perimeter game just not there. They really need to get it to long if possible. Jurisic again over to Djordjevic. Well, that was, shall I pass it? Shall I pass it? Nope, I'm going to shoot it. And he scores with a runner to take it back to a 12-point lead. And those Oostende fans who have made the trip from Belgium, loving everything they're seeing right now. Eddie, however, says, I can hit the 3. Just get it back to me. Back to a 9-point deficit. And Castelloute has to watch his elbows, guarded by Marty Collins. And they get it down low. Maric goes up for the dunk, and he is fouled as well by Collins. And he hangs onto the rim for good measure. Look at this. Now the question is, can he make his free throw? With Oostende just 5 of 11 tonight at the stripe, Maric himself is 2 of 4. We saw these, Oostende play long spells last week against Besiktas where they were really good. And really it was a question that we posed at the start of this game. Could they sustain it for 40 minutes? Well, they've sustained it for almost 33 minutes. Some clear weaknesses have shown themselves tonight with SIG. I mean, they've lacked some intensity, but also, the indiscipline, particularly with fall, with the foul trouble. It has not been a good night for the home team. Also, you have to wonder with SIG tonight, just the three-point weapon hasn't been there, but they just haven't shot it well. 4 of 13 from deep, 15 of 46 overall. Here's Eddie. Collins goes hard to the basket. Mighty Collins, says the man on the tannoy. Djordjevic, his pass almost ends up with a turnover with Pietrus reaching in, knocking it away. Yusuf Afal comes back in. Remember, he's got 4 fouls. He actually made the team of the week once this season. He's had some decent games, but one of them tonight has not been one of them. Williams at the stripe and misses. Collins. I tell you, with Oostende, if I'm them, I'm trying to go to the basket every single time. They're having a lot more success that way. Now this time, Collins trying to get the ball to the hot hand Long. Throws it out of bounds. Djordjevic. Maric. Djordjevic. Fielder back in the game as well. And foul has been called. Castelloot also in. Two fouls on Strasbourg now. SIG in a real battle. I think it's one that probably nobody expected. Okay, that wasn't a foul. And Fielder gets in, misses. Hasn't had quite the same impact, Fielder, in the second half as he did in the first. Eddie. And Maric trying to box out. Call for the foul on Fall. Yeah, he kind of wrapped around him, and also he was tugging on his jersey.
Changement pour la SIG Strasbourg. Retour au jeu. Quentin Serron. Mike Green, applaudissements à Nicolas Lange. Et applaudissements à l'unanimité.
Bayhurst out, Mike Green in. That could spell trouble. He's a big game player, Mike Green, especially when the game gets hot and desperate. He gets it to Fall. Fall this time keeps his elbows down, and this time he scores. Castelloot inside. Fielder fouled by Green. Well, that was an easy call as well. 3 fouls on Strasbourg now. Maric. 8-point lead. Door opening for Strasbourg, but they've got to make shots. And it goes, and good defense from March that time. Now Jurisic comes back in for the stretch run, and March goes out. Could be that three-point attempt that he took that's gotten him out of the game. No foul called on Jurisic. Yep. He's like, you're not going to post me up here on the low block on an inbounds pass. Watch Jurisic now guarding Fall down low. You know the refs are watching that. Here he is. Is anybody going to help out? And a second straight foul called on Jurisic. May have to bring March back in. So from one foul to three. Oh, they're going to give him free throws. Something you can do is shoot free throws. Well, she came in shooting 62.5%, and he makes both of them. So back to 6 points now, the deficit with 5 minutes remaining. Obviously plenty of time. And they would love perhaps to get Fall to pick up that fifth foul. Let's listen in to Coach Georgia. That's what I told you. He had to go at Maric for shooting to three. I don't know if that's what got him out of the game, but it could have been.
Phone's motion on chase. No, come off here. Vinny, off the screen. I don't want a shot, okay? This is chase. I want hand off here, guard.
Well, crunch time, folks. SIG have been scrapping away here in the fourth quarter. And, you know, Oostende they seem to all of a sudden have lost a little bit of their rhythm. And defensively, a couple things haven't gone their way. So questions being asked, and not for the first time tonight, Djordjevic has turned the ball over, trying to bring the ball up the floor. You cannot let that happen as a point guard. Green for three. Fall, rebound, and tied up. Great play by Castelloot. Jurisic, I think, fortunate not to be called for a foul from behind, perhaps. Fall has the 4 fouls. They're going to keep going to him. And have they called the foul on Jurisic? Wow. They called a foul on Jurisic there. That's, oh, maybe because he kind of hooked him with his left arm. So 4th foul, he's going to go out, and Maric is going back in. They see that as a better option. Collins spins. Oh, great block, Maric, right off the bench. But the pass to Green And 3-second violation has been called, I think, on Fall. Wow. Interesting. March gets pulled, presumably for shooting to 3. And then with Jurcic picking up 3 quick fouls, Georgia has to put him back in, and all he does is come out and get a big play defensively from Maric. The block. Williams to Kestelut. Hands it off to Djordjevic, who's fouled by Collins. That is foul number 4 on Strasbourg. So 2 on him. March rolls to the basket. Williams holds it back outside to Djordjevic. And Fall has fouled out of the game. So Maric wins. He lost a battle or 2, but he won a couple of big battles, including that one, fouling Fall out of the game. You can't say that Oostende didn't have an answer for Fall. They did. It was this man right here, Mladen Maric. But he was definitely a player to be reckoned with, Fall, coming into this 4th quarter late in the game. So Oostende have to like their chances more now that Fall is out. Boy, this game is vital. You know, there's no way back for Oostende if they don't win this game tonight. You have to say it. They're 1-5. They are desperate for a win. And good drive and the dump to Traoré. And if you're SIG Strasbourg, you do not want to lose to Oostende on your home court. That could kill you down the stretch. So vitally important game here in front of us, folks. Williams, bounce pass. Maric loses his balance. Green for 3. Maric hustled back down to get the rebound. Boy, Green, I would have bet money on him making that shot. Williams goes in. Boy, what a tough shot from Williams. There's the real Williams. He has played under control tonight and has been very important for Oostende. Bounce pass, Traoré, the follow, and the battle for the rebound. Kestelut comes in and knocks it over to Djordjevic. 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. 8 points to lead for Oostende. Williams loses it but gets it back. But then called for a travel. Oh, good defense, good reads for Strasbourg. You feel bad for Williams because he's really playing under control, doing everything his coach needs. Almost hustled and got that ball back.
We have time! We have time! But we must play fast! Where is Mike? Okay. Louped is a good play, but angle too! Angle! Start here and win!
See the quarter-by-quarter scoring.
We jump on your guy and you go on the side. Et à l'opposé, Quentin, okay? Either one of you take it, okay? Other one is here. Other one, go.
Assists and turnovers for both teams. Strasbourg looking for some late magic here. Can they get it? Came into this game day In third place in Group D at 4-2, Filou Oostende 1-5, right at the very bottom of Group D. So this is how important this game is for them. Saron pulls up for three. Good! Big shot from the Belgian against the team from Belgium. Feeler hands it off to Williams. You heard Collet say, we've got to play fast. We've got time, but we've got to play fast. Djordjevic. Who's going to take the shot for this team in yellow? Djordjevic gets it to Maric. Oh, what a tough shot from Maric. He's been big time since he came back in the game. Green for three. And Djordjevic with the rebound. Boy, that Maric shot on that last possession was huge. Just calmed the nerves of Oostende. Djordjevic falling down, gets it to Williams. Oh, he gets pinned, but there's Maric for the follow. He doesn't score. And now Strasbourg have it. Eddie for three. Off the back of the iron, just not falling for SIG Strasbourg. Taking time off the clock now, the shot clock to 4. Maric, jumper. They've got to hurry, 40 seconds remain. Collins for three. And with a hand in the face, puts up an air ball. It's been that kind of night, shooting-wise, for this Strasbourg team. They simply cannot buy a bucket, but all credit to Oostende. They have made plays tonight. They've played under more control. They've gotten some inspiration from different players tonight. And really, in a sense, at unlikely times from certain players. I mean, Maric was not having a good game until this fourth quarter. And he's been really outstanding. The steal, though, that is crucial right there. And Georgia calls timeout. That is almost unforgivable. You cannot turn that over, and SIG Strasbourg still have life. That was Lassisi with the bad pass.
Chase! I'm a goal for Jean-Marc. Hey, chase ball. Chase ball. Dushan. DJ. Okay? Elias.
6 steals for Strasbourg, 4 for Oostende.
And Winnie. Ellie. Wait, screen. Winnie, you going here. Ellie, spread it. You screen Dushan. Dushan cuts. You flash.
Block shot. Don't forget also the free throws very likely will come into play. Oostende are going to have to make some. I'd be awfully surprised if Collet and Strasbourg did not put Oostende on the line, because they have struggled tonight. Although Jurczyk, one of 5, probably the biggest culprit, is actually on the bench right now, so that probably helps. And Maric is 5 of 7. Djordjevic hasn't attempted a free throw. Here he is hemmed in, and almost. Oh boy, did they get out of jail there. Oh, and Feeler goes up for the dunk. That was a potential disaster for Oostende, and they turned it into 2 points. Oh, and he banked it in. Djordjevic. Gets it back to a 4-point deficit, and I'm not sure about Georgia. He doesn't understand why they stopped the clock. They want to review it and see if he made it from 3-point range. But what George is upset about is it makes it easier for Strasbourg now to set up their press. And also looking at the time on the clock, 14.5 seconds remains. Oostende struggling getting the ball in bounds. Oh, this time they get it to Filou. Oh, and Filou just wants to give us a little reminder of what happened in the first half. And meanwhile, Strasbourg commit the foul.
Deuxième faute personnelle, Cantersen. Changement pour Filou Oostende. Sortie du numéro 20, Djordjevic. Retour jeu numéro 29.
So Saron with the foul, 7.9 seconds remaining. SIG, the likelihood is it's at 2 possessions. So even if he makes this one, they would still need a couple of threes. Not likely, you never know. Don't go away. Crazy things happen. But Filou does rattle them both in. If you're Oostende right now, you simply cannot foul. Don't foul. Djordjevic almost fouled the three-point shooter on the last possession. I don't understand what in the world is Kestelhout doing there. 1.8 seconds remains. And that is that. So the 3-point deficit, you never know. I mean, SIG Strasbourg come back and at least winning a potential tiebreaker with this between these two teams. But you got to salute Oostende. I mean, it was as expected. They had to play 40 minutes. They were up. SIG Strasbourg never quit, but Oostende hold on for a 64-61 win, their second of the Basketball Champions League season. Well, shooting numbers in the end, similar. Unsurprisingly, seeing the final score here, but Oostende breathing a sigh of relief. They just had to get to the finish line. They barely did. It was, that third quarter was crucial for Oostende. You know, they got it together. Maric had struggled, but he came out, made some plays for the team when he had to. 9 points, 5 rebounds. He had a block and a steal. Every one of those were important. There you see the leading numbers. Djordjevic with 2 steals. And Filou with 17. Collins, Marty Collins, a quiet 17 really for Strasbourg. And Petrus goes out, so disappointment for SIG tonight. The lap to thank the fans because they make it possible for these guys to earn a living. And they want to make sure they thank them for coming out to the game tonight. Can't win them all, but it's tough to lose them on your home court. And it doesn't help your chances of getting to the postseason by losing them. But with this Oostende team tonight, it was win or really fold up your tent and go home for the rest of the season because they were desperate for a win. They have now improved to 2-5. And what's going to be interesting to see with this Oostende team is if they can build on this, because they showed tonight that if they go out there and play their best, they're going to be in the game at the end, and that's the key. You might not win them all, but you got to keep, you want to give yourself a chance to win late in the game. And when you look back at their season, some of the results, losing by 29 at Virtus Bologna, losing by 16 at Medi Bayreuth. Those are not games that you're going to win. You got to give yourself a chance to win. And maybe they're going to be one of these teams that gets better as the competition goes on. It is going to be an absolute beast of a game when they go up against Prometheus Patras next week in Greece. You know, from a athletic standpoint, I don't think they give that much away against Prometheus, but they're going to have to be mentally strong and execute the game plan and listen to their coach Georgia if they want to be successful next week in Greece. For SIG Strasbourg, well, where do you go from here? I mean, this is a game you should have won coming in. You're thinking we need to win this game. They'll be at home next week against Petro Olympia. That's another potentially tricky game for them. They need to come out breathing fire for that one, or their season could take a second straight major hit as they try to get to the postseason. Here's Maric, huge shot from Maric. And I have to say, Djordjevic quietly was okay tonight. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, plus 14. Feeler finished with a team high plus 16. So that is it. Oostende win it 64-61 over Strasbourg. And here are the standings now. So Oostende climb up into 6th place, and Strasbourg climb to 2nd, although they get a point for playing everybody else in action tomorrow night. So that is going to change. Obviously, Midi Bayreuth winning convincing tonight as well. They have leapfrogged Neptunus into 4th place. 64-61, Filou Oostende win it at SIG Strasbourg.